on, members of the Stoke squad? Welcome back to another episode of season 3, and in this episode is a gear review of the MONTEC ski gear. I have skied this stuff about 25 to 30 days last year, and it's something you guys ask me about quite frequently is what do I think of the MONTEC, would I recommend the MONTEC? And so in this video I'm just sharing my complete, unbiased, honest thoughts of the gear. I bought 2 suits at the start of last ski season completely for my own money, didn't receive any sort of discount or didn't have any sort of talks with MONTEC. So I just made the decision to buy these based on what I saw, and I think I have some pros and cons that I can share with you that might help you guys if you're looking at picking up one of these suits. I think it is important to mention that I don't consider MONTEC to be like a high-end piece of equipment or like a high performance company or brand, but I also don't think that's necessarily what they are trying to be or market themselves as. I think where MONTEC really fits well in the industry as a whole is providing like an above average or better than average product at average or even below average pricing. I have 2 different suits behind me that I rocked all year long, and I think you can get a pair of the pants and a ski jacket for about 220 to 240 bucks each, depending on the model you get. So all together you can have a full ski suit for less than $500, which is honestly relatively cheap compared to some of other piece of equipment out there, albeit they might be higher quality, but you could spend 500 bucks on just a non-insulated shell alone. So the fact that you can get a full kit that looks good and has a bunch of features for less than $500 is honestly probably the main reason that I went along with buying a few suits. Was it seemed like they were pretty feature rich for what I was paying. Both sets of my pants are the Falk 2021 models. You can go on the website and actually read about like the technical features and stuff of the pant. So I'm not really gonna go over too much of that, but for me it was the first time ever wearing bibs. If you don't know what bibs are, it's basically like an overall type of pant that comes over your shoulders and essentially comes all the way up your chest. And for me, it was a really comfortable experience all around, both for hiking, for skiing, for walking around, for whatever. Being in the pants all day was really, really comfortable, where sometimes snow pants that kind of go around your waist, they can be quite uncomfortable sometimes and just feel like you notice you're wearing them, where with the bibs, I just felt like I was almost just floating amongst the pants, and it just made for a really enjoyable experience all season long. Now, both suits that I got are medium insulative, so not like super thick insulation, but I also didn't just get shells because I did want some insulation so I didn't have to layer up too much underneath. Both the pants and the jackets are waterproof. They use like all these different numbers. I don't exactly know what they mean, but in my opinion, I really didn't have any issues with waterproofing, and we use these in deep POW, in wet POW when we went to the Sierras out in California, and for the most part I stayed dry all day long and actually quite warm with how my whole setup was, which you can watch the video before I kind of talk about what I'm wearing underneath these MONTEC suits. But for the most part I really didn't notice any sort of major like water coming through or getting like really wet. I was honestly pleasantly surprised with how dry I stayed in them, especially compared to my previous suit. There were a few features that really stuck out to me with the pants that I enjoyed. One was the vents. They have these really big vents along the sides of the thigh, so during those hotter days or when you're hiking, you can open those up and it's essentially like direct access to your legs, which is pretty nice. I also really like the elastic snow gaiters that go over your boots. It's a pretty common thing, but it's always nice when pants have these, just to prevent any snow and stuff from getting up into your boots, and also making sure that the pants actually stay down over your boots. And then another thing that I really liked about the pants that not all pants have is the reinforced sort of hem on the inside of your legs. So as skiers, more than snowboarders, we are kind of constantly stepping on our feet sometimes, and you kind of run into your other leg. So having this reinforced part of the pant just makes it so it doesn't tear easily, or you know, an edge doesn't catch it and rip it or something like that. So that was really nice that they included those in the pants. And then lastly, and probably my most favorite feature of the bibs, were the pockets. They had this really incredible chest pocket up high, and then also two like big cargo pockets down on the thighs. And the chest pocket was really nice for storing my GoPro batteries. It was basically a pocket that would stay warm all throughout the day because it's close to my body, and so it was a really nice spot to stash batteries so they weren't already exposed to the cold when I put them in. So just helped me get longer battery life. And then the big cargo pants on the bottom were just excellent for just dumping stuff in if you don't have a lot of time, if you got to get on the lift or get off the lift. These pockets just made it so like you could just dump stuff in there and then carry on your way and not have to worry about it. So the pockets of the bibs especially, I really enjoyed. There honestly wasn't a whole lot that I didn't like, right down from the fit to the style to the pockets. I really didn't have, honestly, I didn't really have that many complaints. I was able to hike really easily with them, and I just felt like it was a good pant for what I enjoy doing, which is 100% resort skiing. Honestly, my biggest qualm with the bibs is that there's no like fly, there's no zipper. So when you had to go to the bathroom, you had to essentially like reach all the way up the jacket, try to find the main zipper, zip all the way down, and then do your business. Where it would have been nice if they had like a separate zipper at the bottom that you pulled up to just give you easier access to go to the bathroom. So it was a little bit annoying because I felt like when I did have to go to the bathroom, I would really have to sort of dishevel my kit and undress myself just to go to the bathroom. That's the only con. I'm willing to take it for the features of the pant, the style, the price. I just feel like it would have been easy enough for MONTEC to throw in just one extra zipper at the bottom so you could kind of do a split zip if you needed to, or just provide some other sort of fly system for us guys to go to the bathroom. I'm not sure how the ladies version is, but something that I slowly would notice as the season went on, that I was like, man, this is kind of pretty unfortunate, especially when it's cold or it's a pow day. It's like, I just felt like I really had to undress just to take a leak. So I actually have two different jackets. They're very similar, but they are technically different models according to MONTEC. One of them is the 2021 MONTEC Doom, and the other one is the 2021 MONTEC Dune. I don't know why they would make the names so incredibly similar that you essentially sound like you're saying the same thing, but the jackets are technically different, and the biggest difference between the jackets is the way that the zippers actually work. On the Doom jacket, which is actually my favorite of the two, there is actually a zipper that goes all the way down to the bottom, so you can actually open up the jacket like a normal jacket, where on the Dune there's just like almost like a quarter zip on the side to help you get in and out of the jacket, but other than that you can't go all the way open with the jacket. And I think this style has both its pros and cons. So the nice part about the MONTEC style, with it not zipping down all the way, I just feel like you can stay extra warm because you just don't have that extra passage for airflow or snow to get into. So if anything, I found that the MONTEC suits actually run a bit warmer than what I'm used to, because you really are pretty enclosed between the bibs and then the actual jacket themselves. Feels in a way like you're wearing a one-piece, which is just traditionally a lot warmer and drier than a two-piece suit. Probably my most favorite feature, and something that I will just never buy a jacket without these, are the hand gaiters. These are basically almost like a mini liner in a sense, and it's just that paired with glove liners or paired with a nice pair of gloves. Like, you really just aren't gonna go wrong with that, and I just feel like it really helps keep the hands warm throughout the day. And if you do have to pull your glove off on the lift, you still kind of have some protection from the elements with that. So the fact that they had hand gaiters, that was huge for me. Secondly, not all hoods can fit over your helmet, and when you have those crazy windy pow days, it is such a good thing to have to stay warm, to be able to put your hood actually over your helmet. So the fact that the MONTEC hood is big enough to fit over your helmet was a really pleasant surprise for me. And then on top of that, it has this really nice face gaiter sort of thing that's nice and soft. So when I put my hood up and I zip all the way up, I essentially have like double the gaiters, double this face protection. And so, like I mentioned, by the time you have everything up and on, it's like you are like you feel like a Donmel snowman of some sort. So super sick to have all of these features in the jacket. Lastly, the jacket also had the really nice lift pass pocket for like the RFID chips, where you don't have to take your pass out. You can just kind of scan it on the thing, which is really nice, and also had some nice like cuffs to put over your gloves and stuff like that. So I will say, when it came to the jacket, I didn't love the pocket system. It has what's called like a kangaroo pouch or a kangaroo pocket, which is basically like a one big pass-through pouch in the front. And there's two reasons why I don't really like this style. One, if you forget to zip either one of the sides, whatever you have in there is essentially very prone to actually falling out, because there just isn't a deep enough pocket for the stuff to stay in there. So I actually lost a GoPro the first time I used the jacket, because I didn't zip one side down and it popped out. So I think obviously if you zip both sides down, you'll be good, but didn't really love the pocket. And also I just felt like if you put too bulky of things in there, if you're skiing and you hit a nice hard bump or like really compress, I had it where I had like a GoPro mount go into my ribs and it really didn't feel good. So kind of just an awkward spot. I feel like it would almost be better, in my opinion, if you put pockets more on the side, to where they're not in that sort of zone of knee going into it, into your chest, if that makes sense. So wasn't super in love with the whole kangaroo style, but you might really like it. Just wasn't really for me. Lastly, my only other qualm with the jacket was I just felt like the way that the style of the zippers are without them fully opening up, it can kind of be difficult to put the jacket on and take it off, especially if you're layered up underneath. It just feels like sometimes it's like so hard to actually get it on. And then there was sometimes where I just felt like really tight almost. So but I don't think I need a bigger size. I just feel like just the way it's designed, it kind of restricted mobility sometimes compared to the bibs, where I felt the bibs were super excellent all around. So to be honest, I would recommend the MONTEC gear. I have no equity in telling you this. I'm not getting anything out of it. So I wouldn't lie to you guys. I think if you're an average resort skier like I am, I think it is one of the best bangs for your buck out there. I would say if you're like a gnarly backcountry skier, or if you're someone who's really going ham skiing, like this might not be the best suit for you. I just don't think it has that sort of quality that you can get in other suits. Like I said, honest, unbiased review. I don't have anything in telling you to get MONTEC. So I know some people hate it, some people like it. I think at the end of the day, if you think it's cool and it's in your budget, go for it. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope this kind of shed some light on my thoughts on the MONTEC for whatever that's worth. They just dropped the 2023 lineup of some new stuff. So go to the website, check it out, and thanks for watching. Peace out.